What phone is that? Like old.
Huh? My phone?
What number? It is? Oh, it's because mine, I have the Pro Max.
Yeah.
So I thought yours was old.
I don't know. I don't like
I judged it.
I don't
Well,
like
I'm
the
an
big
artist.
giant
I have to have the.
I don't like the big giant.
I get it. Fair enough. Okay.
Five?
All right. I'm gonna start the live.
So this is like 4 participants.
Come on up, Hannah.
Here I go. Okay.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Yay!
That's so lovely. Thank you. I'm Matt Swinney. I'm the founder of Austin Fashion Week. To my right is Claire Saldana, who, if you don't know her, you should. How long have we been working together?
I think I originally did styling in 2020. So since then, the next year you were like, come out of retirement and help me run this show. And I said, I'll never come out of retirement. And then here we are all these years later.
A girl who works like 12 hours a day is in retirement. Okay, sure. Is that how that works? Please, God, tell me that's not how retirement works. And then Hannah to the far right, my far right.
Yay!
So Hannah runs all of our social media, also a designer, so she has a unique perspective. She's been on both sides of working with us and being on the runway. Claire runs all of our back of house, so she manages every single model, designer, runway designer. That's most of it. Beauty team. Danny Curiel is the other person who's pivotal to our team. She's front of house. She lives in San Antonio. I didn't want her to come up just for this tonight. So I can speak. Yeah, we love Danny. She's amazing.
Yay!
Danny has worked with us since like 20.
She told me 20, like 12 or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say 12,
Oh
13,
my
something like that. Yeah, so we started 09, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I bet it was 2012.
Yeah.
With Kaplan Miller at first, and now Danny's on her own. So she runs all of the front of house pop-up shops. She's the one who literally calls the show. So when you see the tech booth and the tech tent, she's the one who's calling to whoever is behind the walls when to send a model, changing music, doing all that stuff. So tonight, we're going to keep this panel pretty bright and tight. Just because I really want this one to be more about mingling and connecting. Like that's literally the point of this, is so that we all get together, but hopefully we can get a little bit of education. And for those of y'all who are either new to Fashion Week or maybe even old to Fashion Week, and some of you who have been part of Fashion Week for a while, like Yannette is sitting there. Like Yannette, how many Fashion Weeks have you been in at this point? A lot. Yeah, like 2020, 2021, something like that. Yeah, so I mean, there's other experience in the room. So for those of y'all who are new coming into it, feel free to pick the brains, not just of us, but of others in the room. So why don't we just start quickly with just like the 1 minute intro of yourselves, like kind of the background, how you came to be part of Fashion Week and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so hi, I'm Claire. I'll start with saying, like I joked there, Matt and I met whenever Austin Fashion Week used to do pop-ups in retail spaces. And I was fortunate enough to be in a retail space that we held a party there. And I was like, what is Austin Fashion Week? I need to be a part of all of this. I used to style clients who would go to the event. So it was really fun to kind of take part and be part of it. In Dallas, after college, I actually ran a lot of fashion shows there. So coming down here, it was kind of one of those things where I didn't want to be in fashion shows. It had kind of made me tired. It is a wild beast of a thing to run back of house. Then in 2020, I came on with Matt as a stylist that's when we did the online show.
Yeah.
And everything, because COVID had closed down everything. So everything was...
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, everything was live. Which added another element to being crazy and back of house. And then the following year I came on to do, things with our models, designers, and that's where we started taking our casting in-house. And so we'll do a casting call. I always do a production about 6 weeks out. So about 6 weeks out, we do a casting call. And then that's where we find some excellent talent. I mean, it's really great to see someone come in the room and you just know, like, oh, this person's going to be big, whether it's Austin or somewhere else, you just know. And I think that's the beauty of it. And then for me personally, whenever we're there, show day, back of house, that's actually the first time that I see garments. So I see some familiar designers here. They can tell you that I will go around being like, oh my God, I love this. Oh wow, I can't wait to see this on the runway, because it is true. Like, me seeing it for the first time that day is just fantastic. And it's just a really fun experience. I think both back of house, it's a creative chaos, and I think I thrive in that. And so I love to be as calm as possible because I know that it is wild back there. So.
Everyone says they want Claire's job, but I'm not sure you do. All right, go for it, Hannah.
First of all, I've never spoken for 1 minute, right? Like.
Well, Claire didn't speak for 1 minute either.
I like to respect, but at the same time, I'm a kid. You guys tell him a
I'll
little
cut
bit
your
of a
ass off if I
I'm
need
a
to.
talker. You're welcome. Of course, you're in charge. Hi.
No, I'm not.
I've already met many of you. I'm so excited. We're so excited to have you. The people that show up in this room, and from my perspective, are the ones who really want to be involved. So thank you for that. I'm the social media lead as of last year. And it kind of happened, that's when he brought me on the news. That was fun. We had a good time as a designer. I loved it. And then we just kept kind of in touch. And I said, I really want to contribute to the team. And so I came on it's that simple.
Yep.
I did
Oh my God, I think that was a minute or less. No kidding. That deserves applause. She talked less than Claire, which is rare. Hannah probably doesn't even need a microphone. So as we do these events, I want to have an educational component all the time. I don't want it to always feel like it's something that we are promoting for Fashion Week. So I want to say up front, like, if you have thoughts of things you really want to talk about or learn about, or you think you can talk about or whatever, like, feel free to email any of us and kind of throw that out there. We're always looking for ideas of these panels. But given the timeline of this, so we're late February, participation deadlines for Fashion Week for the most part are March 15th. So we're 2.5 weeks, not even, something like that, to deadlines. Like, this comes very, very quickly. And it actually seems particularly fast this time. I don't know if maybe we announced late, it's possible. So I just want to, we've never really sat down and talked about particularly so what's really helpful here is this group is really good with designers and models for the most part, which I think is most people in the room. If you're not in that category, then, I think you'll still get something out of this. But I really wanted to just kind of give some the question I probably get the most, and I'll bet Claire you get it too in particular, is what makes for a great show? What makes for memorable, right? We're gonna have, so just so I've said it, we're talking about expansion of shows for this season, so we're really trying to actually shorten each show. I don't know how many shows y'all have been to before, but they can get really long. And you can see it in the audience. And so we're talking about more shows that are shorter. But we're talking about expanding. So we do 5 shows right now. That's what we've done. We're talking about expanding up to as many as 8 shows. So 2 Thursday, 2 Friday, 4 Saturday. Approximately 80-ish looks per show, which would get it back down to a timeline that really, I think, works better for everybody. But that's 640 looks. It's a lot. And so I think I want to talk a little bit about, let's start with Claire, about what makes a great show. What makes you stand out? When there's 8 designers in a show, what have you seen that you have found that really creates success?
I think coming with your individual style, knowing what your brand is and really sticking to it from head to toe, down to when I'm going to cast models, if this is the type of girl that I'm looking for or guy that I'm looking for. I think that really does set people apart, and just being prepared for it. You know, there have been often times where there are designers who will straight up show up with a sewing machine and try to finish those garments. That is so stressful. I can't even imagine the amount of stress that puts on one person. But if you show up knowing exactly who you are, what you want to put out, like, my team can do the rest, and really just bring your vision to life. And the weeks leading up to the show, if you say, I need someone this height, this race, this, you know, we will go down to the bust, waist, hips, everything. And I will try and cast the most perfect person for you. And then from there, it's up to you to kind of curate your designs. And I think the most memorable ones are the people who know who they are. So knowing who your brand is before you show up that morning is a huge part of it.
And while we're at that, how important is it to hit your deadlines and be on time?
Okay, I love creatives. Like, I am a creative myself. Let me tell you, there are many times where there is a deadline. I'm hitting it at midnight, but baby, did I hit that deadline. Now, there are designers where I'm like, Matt, come on, let's get these people on.
Always me.
Yeah, I say, like, it's
me.
almost like gotta bring in the principal to like do the thing.
She'll throw me under the bus with you, I promise.
Yes, like, I will straight up say, like, you see my spreadsheet, everyone who's in red, we're going to go ahead and contact them one more time, because I really want you not to get to that last week and start thinking, like, who is my model? What can I do? I want you to be prepared 2-3 weeks out from the show and know that earring is going to go on that design down to the shoe. Like, that way when you get there, you can just let me and my team take care of it, and we just go from there. Because I really do believe that when you know what's going on, you'll get exactly what you want.
Correct. And I think people need to understand how far in advance we work, and there's a reason for that. And that's why when you're backstage, you're like, oh my God, this is so smooth and professionally run. Well, it's because we didn't start it yesterday. Like, there's a reason that the deadline is 6 weeks-ish, 7 even this year, 7 weeks prior to the deadline. It's so that Claire can do a casting call. She can have an idea of who the designers are and what they're going to want. So she's looking at a casting call with something in her mind. And if somebody has said that, if they have a very random request, like, she already knows it, right? And so she's looking for it. And just so we're clear, we're talking about, I'm not kidding, last season, 1,200 model applications. Like, I'm not kidding, 1,200 for, I mean, assuming that we recast everybody who, and it's very, very rare that Claire doesn't recast somebody because we love our models. So, I mean, it's maybe for 8 spots, 10 spots. Like, I mean, it's not for a lot. And so, you know, all of that goes into you as a designer. And so when you're late getting your information in, she's already, like, built the lineup and she's just guessing for you. And so if you come in and say, I need this, she may say, I'm sorry, like, your deadline was a week ago. So it is what it is.
Or maybe I won't say it.
Well,
let Matt
she's
say
nicer
that.
than me. I mean, that's probably debatable on show day, but
Yes, on show day, I apologize. I'm very, like, strict and, like, very tunnel vision, because I want to make sure that my goal is to get your designs on the runway, like, said and done. Like, that is my team's goal, and make sure that everyone has a good time, because it takes a lot to put a collection together. I put collections together for many, many years, and I did bridal design, and I really know that when you're up at midnight sewing, you know, it's all worth it in the end when you can sit back and see everything go down the runway and it's perfect.
all right, let's switch gears. Let's get Hannah talking a little bit.
I've never done that. I don't know.
So the other part, especially on the designer side, but I would even say on the model side too, and really anybody who's participating, right, is pre-marketing who you are, why you're there. That's the other part of it, right? So, like, anyone who buys a ticket to a show is probably following us on socials. They're probably, you know, going through, and I mean, how many designers here get hit up by random vendor trying to sell you something? Give me a quick raise of hands. Does it happen all the time? Yeah. So I know they're paying attention. I know random people are out there paying attention. They're going through the designer list. They're probably trying to figure out who models are. Like, we tag models in posts, but like, I kind of intentionally don't put you on the website in some ways, because on the one hand, like, it's great to have the promotion. On the other hand, it's a little creepy sometimes. And so like, we try to find that balance. So for Hannah, I think like her goal is to promote you as best she can, which also requires your help. She can't just magically come up with posts that make sense. And she's done a great job with lives and having people involved, and we're starting earlier and earlier with that. So Hannah, I guess just give us like the social media 101 for participants.
Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this as short as possible, but okay, so actually what it is, I think we need to rewind a little bit, you know, from what happens between when I start, you know, for the season and then when you start to market yourselves, right? I support through that. Claire made a really good point, which basically is about intention, right? Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you designing? Why are you interested in fashion? Want to attend? Why are you modeling? What is your intention? And so what I did this season was actually set the foundation for our intention, which is, you know, inclusivity, authenticity, connection, by, you know, creating posts that were very specifically targeted towards, you know, attracting that kind of personality, right? I think, though, asking yourself why has to come first. And so I have to do that first for all of you. And for me, it really is about love and self-expression. I'm interested after this in filming some of you, telling me what fashion is. Fashion is blank. Think about it. I want to come around and film, and then I'm going to put together a video and some cool graphics and things like that for you. Because I think I want us all to start thinking more about that connecting inward with what our intentions are, because that, I feel like that shifts things in a way, right? You're not seeing the same thing all the time. You're not feeling the same way all the time. And the last thing I will say is that we are the 4th biggest fashion show in the nation. Can I get it? The 4th biggest, and these two were absolutely instrumental in building that. I cannot take any credit for it. However, what I will say is that we are in a position to where we can model, literally and figuratively, good behavior, authenticity, being genuine, being inclusive, forming community like we're doing now. So that's my pitch for that, for what it's worth. Eventually, I have to be honest, that's who I am. Eventually, though, in a few weeks, I will start, we do send out marketing materials for you to start posting. I'm modeling, I'm designing, or I'm showing, I'm attending. So you'll get all of that. If any questions arise during that period, please feel free to reach out to me, DM or email. And then I do want to do some more live interviews. So if anyone's interested, I'd like to do models and designers and fashionistas, you know, whomever. Please DM me. And thank you.
Thank you, Hannah.
Yay.
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 So a couple of things, and then I'm actually going to turn it over to questions so that we leave some time for you guys. So one thing that we're going to add, y'all don't even know this, we haven't talked about this, I'm sorry.
I love when this happens.
Yeah, this happens actually more often than I like to admit. We're going to figure out a way to, so the biggest, from a designer perspective, the biggest question I get is, how do I convert from the runway to, usually the question is sales, but I think the question really should be, how do I connect directly to a customer, right? Because again, put yourself in the customer's shoes. They're in the show, they're watching the show, there may be 8 designers, maybe they're staying for 2 or 3 shows, so 24 designers later, the million photos that they've taken, they're trying to remember that like look that they really liked, but like who was the designer and all of that, right? It's all fair, all completely valid. And so I'm gonna figure out how to do it, how to do sort of a look and touch post show for each designer. We have time between shows, we always do, where any designer who wants to, you can literally roll your rack out. And that's what I kind of envision, is that you're literally just gonna roll your rack out. And you're gonna bring it out to the audience, and they can come up to you and they can talk to you and they can touch and see and feel. And if that converts sales, great. But if it doesn't, hopefully it at least converts conversation with a customer, and then wherever it goes from there. So that's going to get added this year from a designer standpoint. I could also envision a scenario where we put, and this is more of a Claire thing. This part depends more on where models have to be after a first show if they're getting ready for a second show. The last show of the night, this is easy. But I could envision putting a model in one look each for each designer. They come out with the designer, right? And so it's just a visual reminder of Yannette walked for, sorry, Yannette, I keep picking on you. Yannette walked for Morgan and, everybody and so now I remember, oh yeah, I remember that look. And specifically now I remember that designer, right? That visual matters. So be aware of that as a designer, potentially as a model. Sorry, Claire. I threw that one at you.
There's so many things going on in my head right now.
She's like, how do I manage that
How do
logistically?
I manage all of that? And to speak to that, not only things like that, but just having things socially and website ready to go. So if somebody were to hear your name right before your garments go down the runway, having those channels ready to go, because I have had designers tell me, while my models were on the runway, 3 things sold on my website or X amount of things sold on my website.
Happens all the time.
Why did that happen? Because you had those things ready, because you had that thought into it before you even got on the runway. And what's great about the community that Matt's building is there will be photographers there who can help you with editorials and stylists who can get things ready for, channels like that for you to have them available when that runway happens, so you can sell those things. I mean, ultimately, we want more eyes on your stuff. That's the beauty of runway.
Yep. Go for it, Hannah.
Oh, just real quick. Yeah, I love that. I love this. Brand new information. Love it. It's a great idea.
Sorry.
No, I love it. I'm
3 of us did not get a lot of time together before this.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's very exciting. As a designer, I can imagine that the tactile component, right? Right now, especially with our inundated with visuals, I think it'd be great. The thing I want to say is about collabs. So when you invite us to be collaborators, all I want to do is say yes. The thing that happens is that what we're posting to support you gets kind of lost in the shuffle. It is not a personal rejection. However, if you want to tag us in your stories after and before the show, we're happy to support with that. In terms of, if you want to get sales and everything like that. I just want to make that point.
No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The collabs, so what y'all
It's
don't
not
realize,
personal.
well, and what y'all don't realize is during a show or after a show, we may literally have 50 collaboration requests. And so if we literally said yes to every single one of those, then that's 50 in the grid so the 50th one down, literally no one sees it, right? So just be aware of that, especially right after. It's a little easier right now, but still I would say from a collab standpoint, if you want that, I love that feature now, but you might reach out to Hannah before you before you do it, because otherwise, because she'll give you a good reason, or she'll say, hey, if you post it at this time, then we can accept it at this time or whatever, or this thing, but that's up to her at the end of the day. And again, I think she's right. Don't take that personally. Every time I was in there when Hannah was out for a little bit, I felt bad every time, and I wanted to reach out to people and be I promise I'm not accepting it for any personal reason.
Yeah, never.
It's just because you have no idea how many there are.
Yeah, and it's something to consider, exceptions. However, I don't want to exclude anybody. I never do. So for now, I think, tag us in stories, and that's a really easy, great way to promote for the show.
Yeah, we'll repost all
Yeah,
that
we'll
stuff.
do that all day long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do y'all have anything else y'all want to talk about before we turn it over to questions?
I'm just curious, how many models are here?
Ooh, a good chunk.
Nice.
Let's go.
Okay, and
Alitha de Luna.
Alisa de Luna. And then how many designers are here? Hell yeah. That's awesome.
So the majority of the room is either a designer or model, yeah? What are you in the, anyone who did not raise their hand, are you in the industry and just raise your hand? Okay.
Nice.
Okay. Handful.
I'm not in the industry, so I'm here on support.
Love it.
And I was
Love
about
it.
to say, and the people are here.
And the supporters
And the
of the
supporters.
industry, even better. Yeah. There you go. I'm going to assume most of these questions are going to be for them. So who has questions?
Well, I don't have a question. I have a testimony.
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 Do you want a microphone, Lisa, or are you good like Hannah?
I'm loud.
I know you are.
I used to be a cheerleader. So anyway.
I used to be a cheerleader.
Yeah. I did a bunch of shows with Matt before the pandemic. And I realize some of you are probably still in high school or middle school then. But I just want to say, I use imagery from those shows. I still use to this day in 2026. Two, the models that Matt put my clothes on, I still use those imageries. And after Matt's show, I hired those models for photo shoots with my images. I'm with Amber Leaf, and I've been doing clothing, coats, jackets, dresses for women since 2015. And I've got some new stuff going on, which is why I'm here. But I love what Matt does. I've known Claire for a long time as well. I love what they do. And my point is, it goes on. And the value you get from associating with them doesn't end that year or the next year, or in my case, 10 years. I'm still using imagery that you shot in
Was 2016.
Yeah, I'm still using it 10 years later because it's relevant and important to say to the models that are here. I hired those models because those models made my clothes look so good. So thank you.
Thank you. Damn.
That is very
Lisa,
true.
new publicist.
I know. That is very true, though,
so-
what Lisa said, because there's so many times that I cast somebody for a line, and then weeks after I see them in a editorial or a lookbook or something like that, and I think like, man, we hit that on the nail. Like they were the perfect model for that collection.
Perfect. Yeah, and so since she gave it to us, I'll give a quick shout out to Lisa. So Lisa is super unique in that they have a manufacturing facility in China. So all of you designers who are interested in what that next step looks like for manufacturing, Lisa can tell you all of the do's and don'ts. May sell you on something that they do, but I think also is totally willing to just give you her opinions on what she's seen over the many, many years that she's been in this business. So I highly recommend that you get to know Lisa from a designer standpoint. Who has a question or comment? I'll take them. Can you project, or would you like a mic?
I personally cannot project. Anyone who knows me, I hire someone to yell for me at runway shows.
True.
So,
It's true. Yeah.
one, thank you so much for having this. I think this is a really beautiful way to get people to connect with each other. For models that are starting to get into the industry, what are some, I guess, tips, advices, things that are actionable that one can start right now, today? Is social media relevant? Is that something that you look at? Should you be posting like your own photo shoots? Like what is helpful at this point in age?
Yeah, that's a great question. In the runway space, I think showing up with like your comp card, having those really great headshots ready to go. So when you walk in the door, we have a reference to that, to the face. I can't tell you how many times people show up to casting calls and they don't have a headshot. And after seeing 300 people, who was the third person in the line who didn't give us their headshot? That can really be kind of monumental at the end of the day. Another thing is practice your walk, whether it's like in your home, outside your apartment, in front of your friends, recording that. I have seen people from season to season say like, I just keep practicing. And like those people are now in New York Fashion Week. I mean, it's really one of those things. As far as social media, I think social media is awesome. You can always get all of that. Do I check people's social media before casting? No. It's not anything, I'm not aging myself, but I'm not really someone who grew up with social media. It's something that I use as a tool for work, but it's not necessarily something that Matt's going to give me that roster of 1,200 girls and guys who signed up, and I'm like, let me go through every single person's social media. It's just not even, I'm not even capable to do that. But, my team will come in on that morning and you come in with your charisma, what is it, charisma, uniqueness, and talent, like RuPaul says, and you come in and you just like own the room, do your walk. And if you walk out of there, we'll know. Like we'll know the second that you take that first step. But I cannot stress having, like, if it says come with a comp card, I guarantee
It does.
yeah, and it does. And if you come without one, I promise you we will forget you by the end of the 200-300 people that we see walking that day.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
Did you see the interview with Michaela? Did anybody see the interview, the live interview we just did? Raise your hand if you saw it. If you saw it, if you didn't, it's there on our page. And that we were talking. Jesus.
No.
Oh, okay. And we were talking about how she gave all these tips that you taught her. Like she was just singing your praises, saying like Claire is one to be honest, but also to instruct, to support. You know, that's really, I just want to say that and acknowledge that that's really amazing. And models will come on our social media and talk about the behind the scenes too, and it's really helpful actually.
I want to piggyback off of one thing that Claire said about social media for models in particular. So I've taken heat over the years for having favorites. For the record, we have models in this room who have walked for us for a while, and like I actually stay out of that process entirely because I don't know shit about modeling. Like I really don't. Like I mean, I know when a model looks good walking down the runway because Claire has taught me. Like but that is not my background. So we do not like. I want to go back to the social media thing. Like there's been a lot of like, she's only on the runway because she has 80,000 Instagram followers. I'm not kidding. I've literally never looked. Like I have no idea how many followers Alyssa has or how many Yannette has. Like you might have like 1,000, you might have like 100,000. I literally don't know. And I'll bet Claire doesn't know either. And I bet Hannah might know. But it's not that. Like I want to be very, very clear. There is no favoritism. Like the only favoritism is the reason why, and I can't see everybody in the room right now, the reason why Alyssa gets cast every year and why Yannette gets cast every year is because they're professional as shit. Like they show up every single time. Like when I send an email out, like they're two of my go-tos for media, for TV, because like they will respond to me quickly. They get back, they show up on time. They're probably there before me. Like sometimes they have their hair and makeup ready to go or whatever it is, like whatever they have been asked to do, they do it. And so just so we're clear, like the people who get asked back over and over and over again, it's because they do that. It is not because we have befriended them. By the way, we have also befriended them, but it's a natural befriending over working together for 5, 6, 10 years sometimes.
So long story short, just, practicing, knowing that you can own the room when you come in, all of that. Because like, I think that when I'm looking for editorial models and I'm going to do a photo shoot, I might look at a social media and see what other work they've done in the past, but it's not really relevant for like the runway space unless you're posting photos of you walking in your thread, or in your feed. But honestly, there's not really enough time. So we normally give each model a minute or so. 10 seconds. No, a minute, it seems long, but like you come in, you say hello, we get your name, and then we turn on that music and you go.
Are there any walking trainers that you would recommend?
Some people have asked me. I do know Yannette is here today. She has done some classes. I'm looking for a different word, but I'm going blank on what it is. Yeah, workshops. She's done some workshops. She also does posing workshops as well. I think that a lot of the models I have a strict rule. If you've modeled for me before, you'll model with me again. If you were a professional and you loved me, like you might get there and you might hate me. Like if you had a good time, then I would love to do this again with you. And I don't even mean that for the runway space. I mean that like personally, like I do TV stuff, I do editorials. Like if you work for me, then we work together forever, So, and I do know that these ladies over here have done quite a bit in trying to like fine tune that skill. So there's some good people to chat with in this room.
Thank you so much.
I saw a hand raised back there when a couple.
Oh,
A couple
cool.
hand
We'll
raises.
talk soon. Oh, heck
Lovely.
yeah. Let's chat, girlie.
And over here as well. So models who want to connect on that, feel free.
You have a question?
You also have-
Yeah, go for it.
Mic test. Okay, I always have to like figure out how far to hold this. So here in Texas that I know of, there's about 3 modeling kind of fashion show brands that their notoriety has kind of exceeded the state level of Texas, where they're also known across the U.S. I don't want to mention the other 2 that I know, but you are one of them. We don't want to give other people clout. Tonight's about Austin Fashion Week. So I want to ask you, as somebody who is doing fashion show events, what are your goals for this year? And whenever you plan out your goals, are they like 1 year out, 3 year out? What does your goal horizon look like?
I feel like that's
And I have 2 questions, so this is the first one.
So the last one of these events we did, we talked about what the future of Fashion Week looks like. So probably most people in the room know that we switched it to a nonprofit in January. That changes things a little bit in a good way for all of y'all. The only person who gets hurt by it becoming a nonprofit is me, just so we're clear on that topic. And that's okay. That was a choice I made intentionally because the community that we've built matters to me. And I'm getting to an age where legacy is a question for me. And something that I want to leave behind is this thing that we've now done for, this will be our 18th year. That's no messing around. And so when we get to 25 or whenever it is that I decide to, hang out my spikes, that, whoever takes it over next, that they have a nice foundation to work with. And I'm good with that. So when you talk about what the strategy looks like, the reality is we just want to build a legitimate industry in Austin, which is incredibly difficult to do. And we've been talking about this for 18 years, and it's better than it used to be. I wish I could say that we have this manufacturing all the way up to, but it's not. That's just not, and I don't know if it's attainable, if I'm being totally honest. What I do know is that we can do things like pay models, unlike most people. We can pay artists in general, unlike most people. We can pay photographers, we can do whatever, right? We can do things like that. And part of the goal in moving into a nonprofit is that increases fundraising opportunities and everything else, so that when Alyssa walks down the runway, she's getting paid a better rate than she's currently getting paid. That's the plan. What the strategy is and how often we look at it and how quickly I wish I could tell you that I had a 5-year plan. 5-year plan is keep the wheels on. I mean, if I'm being honest, it's not an easy business to run. It is wildly different from season to season, and I wish I could tell you why. 18 years in, I don't know anything about why one show has 1,000 people at it and one show has 200. I would love to tell you. I literally don't know. And so, so I think from a strategy standpoint, it's trying to balance all of that out. Trying to help that next designer, get to whatever the next level is for them. Trying to help that model get to whatever the next level is for them. Some models are I'm good. This is all I want to do. And I'm happy with that. I'm not trying to get to New York, or I'm not trying to get to whatever. I used to talk about Austin Fashion Week as sort of the AAA of all my baseball references. Those of y'all who know me know I'm a baseball guy. The AAA, right? So it's New York, LA, Miami, and then the AAA starts, and that kind of includes us. I don't talk about it like that anymore, because I think at the end of the day, that demeans what everyone here does. We can be the big leagues too, just in our own way. People ask me all the time, do I go to New York Fashion Week? I've been to New York Fashion Week exactly one time, and I was 10 years into Fashion Week doing it here before I went. And that was a very intentional choice. I don't care what they do. It doesn't matter. What we do here works here. Could we do things better sometimes? Sure. Am I open to suggestion all the time? Absolutely. All of that. And so I guess when you talk about strategy, I think it changes all the time, because the industry is changing dramatically, and the makeup and demographic of Austin changes so dramatically. I mean, just as a for example, pre-COVID, we would kind of average, I don't know, 40-ish fashion designers from Austin that were participating pre-COVID. Post-COVID, that's like 80. Literally doubled. Why? Well, because all those people who immigrated from New York City right? So for a long time, it was all Californians moving to Austin. And then during COVID, it was a lot of East Coasters moving to Austin. Now we're back to Californians for the most part. But all those East Coasters who moved, you had a ton of people in the fashion business who showed up. And that's great. Like, we'll take that. All that does is it's rising tides, right? So I think I just look at it as sort of the strategy is difficult to define because I want to be nimble enough to be able to change it at a moment's notice. You had a second question?
Yeah, thank you for that answer. It was very lovely. My second question is, okay, so there's a lot of designers and a lot of models out here. So we also have a couple of fashion show event planners. So I always felt that if you support the biggest dog on the block, those high tides, the waves will carry you with them. Austin Fashion Week is that big dog. How can smaller, more local fashion show event planners collab with Austin Fashion Week, where we possibly share some of our exposure with you? Us specifically, I don't want to drop our name or anything because tonight's about
Go
you
for
guys.
it. Say it.
Hibernation and loyalty. Sorry, Hibernation are teams out there. Some of our models are out here. But how can we help you in your mission?
I appreciate the question. So in the past, this has been a shift for me. And that goes to shifting to a nonprofit. So in the past, when you're a for-profit business, right, like you are looking at bottom line, you have investors, you have all the things. And so promoting other fashion shows became a little bit of a weird thing. Like, and not because we didn't want to support, like I've been to plenty of other people's fashion shows, trust me. But it's not that we didn't want to support, it's just that you're also trying to protect an investor group or whatever. And so it always got tricky. As a nonprofit, I've shifted my brain, right? So now it's different. Now it's about supporting the industry as a whole. And so the answer to your question, the short answer is I don't know yet, because we've never done that. And so we have to figure that out as we go. And so I'm gonna rely on people like you to say, hey Matt, let's talk. Like, this is what we do, this is what you do, this is how we can collaborate as in my brain, and then I'm 100% open to it. But I don't know what I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what else is going on out there necessarily. Sometimes I do. But I think you just have to understand, like, it's a shift in mindset for us. And also, this isn't, you guys, I don't know what your shows look like. The other thing too is, in the past, and this is like 10 years in the past, to be fair, it's not really recent, there were so many shitty fashion shows that people would come to us and say, hey, will you help promote our fashion show? And I finally got to the point that the problem is we used to do it. We would promote their shows, and then one of our customer base would go and they'd be like, that's the worst show you've ever produced. And I'm like, we weren't even there. And so there was confusion in the marketplace around like what we had produced versus what someone else had produced. And so over time, I just got to where I just said no to everything, because like, I don't know, like, I don't, is it good? Like, who are your models? Like, who? And so like, I think I'm just at a different place now where I probably trust that the quality is better in general, but like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna like ask you to prove it. If we're gonna put our name attached to it in any way whatsoever, because I've just been burned too many times. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely, and I appreciate that answer.
You bet.
Do you have any openings for volunteers at your show? I love volunteering at a show.
Yeah,
What the
definitely.
hell is wrong with you?
No.
It's funny, I've gone to
Wait, you like volunteering at shows?
I've gone to runway shows to volunteer, and everyone gets so creeped out by me because they're like, why is she here? But I also feel that when I volunteer for a show, it helps me grow my business better, and I get to know a little bit more, because I'm like, like always be learning, right? So I feel like in those capacities, while I'm okay to go and volunteer for something, I definitely know I creep people out when I get there because they're like, she's spying, and I'm not. I'm just trying to like,
Oh.
We've had that done before. Don't worry. We had a spy at one point.
yeah, it happens.
Yeah. But
Who has time to
volunteers.
spy on other
Hi.
people?
I'm Kira Simone. Everyone knows me as Big Mama K. My models are here. Hi, my babies.
Yay.
I'm the model coach, talent scout, and event coordinator for Hybrid Nation. So, hi. Volunteers, yes. I was actually going to talk to you about that after you guys were done talking for this long. But yeah, we do need volunteers though. So that'll help a lot because if we have to run all these models backstage, it's a lot for me because I'm the only woman backstage running it. So if you want to come through and like help with that, that'll freaking be amazing.
You can take over.
Well, no, it's always fun
Oh,
to
no.
not have to, it's always fun to just go in as a volunteer and I'm like, y'all run this and I'll just change a model or stuff
we
a
need
swag
runners.
bag.
Runners, changing models, do everything. I have an assistant. My assistant's over there, Cameron. My security's right there. But yeah, no, like we need help after backstage because we found out we had too many models, and most of them are here tonight, and they don't know this, but we are above capacity for our show at least. So we could talk about that after though.
Yeah. Did you have a question?
Who has the question? Not me. I have a statement. All right.
Any other questions?
Okay.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, Hannah has to run. Okay, then we're going to close this out. I'm sorry, I actually have to run too tonight. So Claire is going to be the everyone come talk to Claire. If you are a current member of AFW Connect, then you get to talk to Claire first. That's our perk for tonight. We are slowly going to morph out of everyone's invited into this membership program. So I'm sure you've all seen it. Hannah had it up at the front. It is not a money grab. It is simply an opportunity for us to try to get the same group together relatively often. And again, we are a nonprofit. People think we're made of money, and I don't know where that came from. It is incredibly expensive to do what we do at the level that we do it. And so I'm not asking for donations or anything like that, but we're trying to give you something in return. So, but because everyone was invited tonight, we're going to give members at least a little perk that usually what happens is the second we step off this stage, everyone runs to us. And unfortunately, Claire is going to be by herself tonight. I'm sorry to do that to you. Claire's going to be by herself tonight, and so everyone's going to run to Claire. And so members get to do that first. So if you're a non-member, go grab a drink. Wait for a second, let the members come do it, and then everybody else can jump in on Claire.
Thank you all for coming out this
Yeah.
evening.
Thank you all for
It's a
coming.
beautiful night.
Appreciate it. I'm sorry I can't stay. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Oh yeah. Can we grab that other mic? Where's that other microphone? Oh, there we go. Thank you, Dale.